The next day, Grace woke up and she was so full of energy. She had such a wonderful night spending it with Michael that she had to call Marissa. Marissa, I had to tell you, I had a long afternoon and evening with Michael. Really, said Marissa, you're going to have to tell me the details later. I'm in the middle of a committee meeting. Oh, really? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you at such a inconvenient time. No, but you are going to tell me the details. Oh, okay. Listen, I'll catch up with you after the meeting, and I want to hear all the details. Good enough for me, said Grace. Okay, great, said Marissa. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, sounds good. Just then, she knew that the mail was being delivered since she expected some good news from her parents. She knew that she was expecting some deliveries. So Grace went to the mailbox, but she stumbled onto something at the front door, and it was a bouquet of wildflowers with a note. Oh my gosh, said Grace. I wonder if it's from Michael. And there it was, a bouquet of wildflowers right in front of her. She was so excited. And there was a note. It was from Michael. Thank you for such a wonderful night. Spending it with you was everything and more than I could expected. I can't wait to spend another full day and a whole night sky watching with you. Let's do this again really soon. Love, Michael. Love, Michael, said Grace. Wow, already? So she picked up her flowers and that letter and held it close to her as she also grabbed the mail and walked back into the cottage. She placed the flowers in a special vase and also the letter close to her diary. Wow, already? I think I need to call him. Let him know I got the flowers. So Grace goes to her cell phone and calls Michael. Hello, Michael? Yes. Did you get the flowers? Said Michael. Yeah, I did. Wow, already? Yeah, I know it's early. Are you in the middle of anything right now, Michael? I don't want to hinder you from anything. No, I'm not. I have a meeting at 1 o'clock, but I'm free right now. I just got done with the early morning meeting report. Oh, wow. I'm so happy to talk to you. So when are we going to do this again? So, such as the letter suggested. Hey, after today, I'm free for the rest of the weekend. Oh, you are? Hmm. What do you want to do? Said Grace. It's up to you. We can do whatever you want to do. Well, I say, let's pick up where we left off. That's always a good way of starting off the weekend. That sounds great, says Grace. I think that's exactly what we need to do. So why don't you just do this, Grace? Feel casual and comfortable as you like. Let me know when you want me to stop over, and you tell me what you're most comfortable with, and we'll go from there. Well, how about this? Why don't you just come over after work and we'll have dinner together, and we'll either go out to dinner or we'll cook. We'll start there. That's where we'll pick up from there. Michael said, that is a great idea. That sounds great, says Grace. I can't wait to see you already. Thank you for the flowers, by the way, said Grace. You're welcome, Grace, said Michael. Okay, I will let you go right now, said Grace. Okay, said Michael. I'll talk to you after I'm done wrapping up work and I'll come on over. I'll call you when I'm on my way over. Oh, that's great, said Grace. Thank you. Talk to you later, Michael. Talk to you later, Grace. Wow. Just then, she gets a phone call from Marissa. All right, Marissa said to Grace, tell me everything that happened. Well, it's not that everything happened. It was the fact that we went to the pizza pub. I got to meet and spend more time with Johnny Knox and Vanessa Fox, his fiance. And then afterwards, we headed back to the cottage and I kind of showed him around and then we talked about our lives. He told me a little bit about him. Not a little, but a lot. And I told him a lot. And we just swapped stories and then we spent the evening uh, watching stars. Did you eat? Yeah, we ate. We just cooked up something small. It wasn't anything big. We had a big lunch, so we weren't exactly like in the big mood to eat or anything. So it was nothing big. Oh, wow. So you spent the whole evening together? Please tell me, did you end up kissing? He pecked me on the lips. He pecked you on the lips? Yes, said Grace. Oh, wow. This is a story. So when are you going to see him next? Tonight. Already? Said Marissa. Yes. We're going to go out to dinner, I think. Or cook. I'm not sure, but I think we're going out to dinner, said Grace. Marissa's shocked. This is moving quite quickly. Yeah, I think before you know it, this is going to be a whirlwind romance. It already is, said Grace. I already can tell. I already like everything about him. I can tell, said Marissa. Well, listen, I have a date too, said Marissa, so I'll tell you more about that when it comes to fruition. Okay, said Marissa. I'll let you go from now. Yeah, please tell me what happened, said Grace. I don't want her to be the only one with a love story. Yeah, love stories are good to tell, especially when they come true. Yeah, exactly, said Grace. All right, Marissa, I'll talk to you later. Okay, talk to you later. As Grace hangs up, she realizes that this is a love story. It is really neat. It's almost like a Taylor Swift song, Love Story. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, she thinks to herself, but I could become a Swiftie. Uh, then again, maybe I'm too old for that. I don't know. She laughs at herself. Just then, she realizes that Joe Metzger's knocking at the door. Hey, I just stopped by because I know I have to do some plumbing work. Is there any time that you have free that I can stop by to do the plumbing? You can. I'm pretty busy this weekend, but you could always stop by Monday. Oh, that would be perfect. I just wanted to see when it was convenient for you if I can do the plumbing at a time that's convenient for you, said Joe. Yeah, Joe, Monday's good. Besides, I'm not working right now and I'm home most of the time, said Grace. So make it for Monday. Sounds good, Grace. How's everything going on otherwise? Everything's going great. Okay, Joe. It's nice talking to you. Nice talking to you too, Grace. As Joe leaves and steps off the porch and gets into his truck, Grace realizes, wow, I have some free time. I better get everything situated before Michael comes over. Before the afternoon is almost over, Grace has taken some time to rest up and shower and clean up. It was getting to be around 4:30. You know, I should probably see if I talk to Michael, but maybe it's too soon. Just then, she gets a phone call from Michael. Well, I didn't have to stay late and I didn't want to call too early, but is it okay if I make my way over to your cottage? Said Michael. Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect timing. Do you feel like going out to dinner? Yeah, that would be great. There's a couple restaurants I have in mind. We can pick and choose. So I'll make my way over to your cottage and we can decide from that point. That sounds great, says Grace. Oh, good. Grace relieved that Michael called when he did. It wasn't that much longer that Michael pulled into the driveway. Oh, wow. It's so nice to see him pull up. He drives so nice, especially his exotic car. And Grace smiled. She was like waiting by the door with bated breath. Wow. Hi, Michael. How are you? Hi, Grace. How are you? I see the flowers are on the table. They are beautiful like you. Oh, thank you, Michael. Is it possible if I can ask you a question? Is it possible if you could ask me a question? Yeah, it's possible. How many times do you get a kiss, like whenever you open the door? Like I don't know. I haven't gotten a kiss like that in a long time. I'm about to plant one on you right now. Michael plants a kiss on Grace's lips. Wow. You can do that as much as you like at your own free will, by the way, said Grace. I give you permission to. Uh, I might do it again, too, before it's all said and done. Okay, here's the list of restaurants, said Michael. There's this hotel in, I don't know, it's a fancy restaurant. It's the Waterfall Inn and Restaurant, and that's kind of nice. And then there's the regular restaurants like the Ruby Tuesday and the Lone Star restaurants and things like that. So it's up to you. What do you feel up to doing? I'd like to go to the Waterfall Inn. I heard that was a really nice place. Hey, let's do it. Are you dressed for the occasion? We could go semi casual. You don't have to be too dressed up for it. Okay, sounds good. So they made their way to the Waterfall restaurant, and it was so beautiful and so quiet and so enchanting that by the time they sat down, the waitress came to take their order and they enjoyed the appetizer and they got to sit and talk and get reacquainted with each other. As time flew by, they sat through a nice ribeye steak dinner and they enjoyed every minute of the time they had together. It wasn't too long after that they had to pay their bill and they were going back to the cottage. They were driving back in this beautiful exotic car. Grace is like, I have a thing for cars like this, said Grace. Oh, you do? Especially the way you drive. Yeah, I drive like I. Never mind, Grace, said Michael. Well, any rate, how about stargazing tonight? You feel like stargazing? Yeah, I do. But I am so full, I have to settle my stomach, so we might have to sit on the porch and relax a little bit. Okay, sounds good to me. They pull up to her driveway into the cottage. Grace is like, what are your future plans, Michael? What do you want from me? Wow, that's pretty straightforward, said Michael. What do I want with you? I actually have dreams and goals, and I really see something special between us already. And I have to admit that I wouldn't kiss you and spend the time I'm spending with you already if I didn't think that there's a future for us. I mean, I know it's only been a couple months since I've gotten to see and know you a little bit here. But by the end of the weekend, I should know where that future is going to be going. True, said Grace. That is true. I mean, if I kiss you, That must mean something to me. But you've been honest, and honesty means a lot to me, Grace. After what I've been through and after what you've been through, we can't afford to take the risk in relationships. Those are risks that are too high to take. And right now, I'm not willing to take that risk in a relationship. I have too many things that I've worked too hard at. Plus, I want to have a family, and I'm sure you want to have a family. We're young. It's still early into the 2000s, and life is still precious, and there's still too much to live for. You're exactly right. So while we got a lot of living to do, I want to live my life to the fullest. What about activities? Well, there's a lot to do, Grace. I could get into that in tomorrow's segment. Segment? Yeah, tomorrow is another episode for us. We have to go segment by segment because there's just so much going on in our lives. Just getting to know you is like one chapter in my life already. I think of my life as turning the page, and I turned the page well, chapter more or less, when I left Carolyn. You're a whole different book altogether. So, Grace, that's great. So, if you ever spend time writing or journaling or doing anything like that, said Michael, yeah, actually, I'm going to really seriously consider writing. Yeah, you should really consider it. I do already, said Grace. I do a lot of writing. That's excellent, said Michael. Let's get that telescope out. As Michael and Grace got the telescope out and started stargazing, it was a beautiful, starry night. Perfect Midwest night. Wow, look at this. Even though it's so hot and sticky out, we can still enjoy the stars, said Michael. That is true, said Grace. It is quite hot out. We need some cool water. And just then, Grace, silly as can be, spills water on Michael. Look at wet t shirt contest, Michael. You're all wet. Oh my gosh, said Michael. She's like, rubs it right into his chest. Oh, geez, Grace. I'm wet as can be. Did you do that on purpose? Yes, I did. Oh, God, Grace. You know, we should camp out tonight. Well, we can't camp out. I actually have to leave early because I have to be on the green early in the morning with Johnny Knox. Oh, really? Yeah, I have to end the night early. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, said Grace. That's okay. We have tomorrow afternoon or evening together. Sounds great to me. I'm going to go golfing and I'll be over as soon as I'm finished doing my thing with Johnny. And you should hang out with Vanessa one of these days, too. That sounds great. Is it possible that we can wrap this up? Because I got to roll out of here. Yeah, that's fine. Michael just then starts kissing Grace on the lips. Wow, says Michael. You're a good kisser, Grace. I am? Yeah, you are. All right, Grace. I'm so happy we spent the night together. Me too. All right, Grace. I'm going to roll out of here so I can get to the green early in the morning. Okay, good night, Michael. Michael gets in the car and heads out and pulls out of the driveway. Grace just stares as he drives off. The starry sky is just as starry as can be. It's a beautiful night. Once again, Michael with Grace.